Off-lead mixed dog was involved in a fight with Ginger. The other dog's owner was allegedly bitten during the scuffle, but no medical report was filed with the court. Ginger's owner was also bitten and sought medical attention for her injuries. According to testimony by the other owner, Ginger was leashed and the other dog was not. Ginger was seized and held at Toronto Animal Control Facility and then a boarding kennel for 3 years, and was finally released to her owner after a lawyer, Clayton Ruby, successfully proved that the dog had been held illegally. The reason given by Justice Hogan, and now this is really important, everyone must listen to this very carefully. The reasons given by Justice Hogan at the hearing in December of 2008 included a question about the intent of Ontario's pit bull law. The justice doubted that the intent of the law was to kill dogs that were protecting themselves or their owners from attack. The City of Toronto appealed this decision to return Ginger to her owner. The Ministry of the Attorney General acted as an intervener of the case, which was heard last week. This was one of the first pit bull cases to be heard after the law went into effect. In its decision released November the 4th, the Ontario Court of Appeal found in favor of the Crown and reinstated the destruction order for Ginger. The court touched upon the absurdity of the pit bull legislation. They know that's absurd, yet they still uphold this, pointing out that even when a law is found to be ridiculous, deference to the legislature on a presumption that they do not make mistakes means the law must be followed. Isn't that ridiculous?
Shameful.
This is our country. This is what we call a democracy.
Shameful.
They included this quote from the Supreme Court of Canada to make their point. Where by use of clear and unequivocal language capable of only one meaning, anything is enacted by the legislature, it must be enforced. However harsh or absurd or contrary to common sense the result may be. The fact that a provision gives rise to absurd results is not, in my opinion, sufficient to declare it ambiguous and then embark upon a broad-ranging interpretive analysis. This basically means that what they said was that their law is ridiculous and absurd and does not make any sense, but they're still going to uphold it. The Crown claimed that a bite, serious or not. The law is very clear and Ginger must be destroyed. In Ontario, thousands of mixed-breed family pets have been seized and destroyed under Dalton McGuinty's draconian piece of legislation. Thousands of owners are living in constant fear that their pets may be next. Due to the vagueness of the legislation and the way it is stacked in favor of the Crown, it is almost impossible for a dog owner to save their pet from destruction if somebody identifies it belonging to the imaginary breed pit bull, a generic term including 3 different breeds and any mutts that vaguely resemble them. Ginger is the latest victim as the government continues to waste a huge amount of public money enforcing and defending its ineffective, discriminatory, wrong-headed piece of legislation. It was brought about into media scrums and press conferences claiming that the ban would keep the streets of Ontario safe. It was brought about because the then Attorney General made bizarre statements about 150-pound beasts. That's what our dogs are. These dogs are 150-pound beasts. Yet he couldn't pick one out of a lineup. This is it's really funny. The legacy of face-saving and stone-wailing continues as Dalton McGuinty's government persists in its witch hunt against innocent, helpless domestic animals and their owners. Our streets are not any safer. Since the inception of the ban, there have been 2 fatalities in Ontario by other types of dogs. As a matter of fact, there have been no fatalities in Ontario by the mythical pit bull. According to a new survey just released by the Toronto Humane Society, bite stats from other types of dogs have actually risen since the ban in 2005. The government insists that this issue is one of public safety. I guess much of the greater number of people who have been attacked and killed by other breeds of dogs don't count. The McGuinty government would rather focus its mantra on a series of horrific attacks, two actually, by so-called pit bulls, instead of actually dealing with the problems caused by irresponsible dog owners of all breeds and mixes. It's a sad day to live in Ontario. Make that a sad decade. This is from the Dog Legislation Council of Canada.